Okay, muchachos, this video we're going to talk about the verb gustar again. We covered that in one of our previous videos, and we talked about how gustar, it means to be pleasing, but the way we use it in English, the verb we use in English is to like, okay? Even though it doesn't translate directly. If you try and do a direct translation, it's weird, okay? I am going to put to like there just because that is the equivalent phrase in English. All right. But gustar really means to be pleasing. So remember the way we put sentences together with gustar and verbs, there's similar verbs like importar and doler and other verbs are like gustar. But the way we do it is we start off with the who likes it. Okay. And we'll do a little chart here, and that has that's of our indirect object pronouns. And then we're going to have the verb. And we only use two forms of gustar. So it's either going to be gusta or gustan. Okay, and we'll talk about which one to use in just a second. And then we finish the sentence off with what it is that we like. Okay, so let's talk about the who. Let me slide this over a little bit. Okay, so the who, if I like it, we're going to use my indirect object pronoun in Spanish is me. It's pronounced me. And I'm also going to put in parentheses this little ah phrase. I call it the ah phrase. Me. We don't really need to use that in Spanish because if you say me gusta or me gustan, you're not going to be confused with anything else. That's the only thing I mean is I like. Okay. Te is the to form for you, and the little ah phrase is a ti. Okay. Now the next one we get to le. That can mean a lot of different things. So you need to include one of these off phrases. Up here they're optional because they don't clarify anything, because te gusta means you like, me gusta means I like. But le can mean a usted, another way to say you like, a él, or a ella. So le works with all those. So when you like something, the usted form, or he likes something, or she likes something, for all those we put le. That's why you do need to include the off phrase to just clarify who that is. Okay, then we have nos, if we like something, and that would be a nosotros. And then les would be our last one, and that would be for you guys, if you guys like something, a ustedes, or if they like something, a ellos, or a ellas. Make that a little longer there. There we go. But all of those go with les, okay? Now again, remember we talked about this before, but you might not see a ellos. You might see a Pedro y a Miguel, right? It might have two names there, but we know that means they like. Or a Maria y a Juana. So anyway, you might see names instead of these actual pronouns, okay? So you're going to take the who, one of these five. Remember, these are the important ones. The me, te, le, nos, or les. That's the important part. And you're going to add that with gusta or gustan. And then you're going to end it off with the what, okay? The first time we did this, the what was always a verb. It was always an action. It was always like, I like to read, or I like to study, I like to learn Spanish. So we had all those verbs that we were using. So we only used gusta, because that works with the verbs, okay? This time we're introducing gustan because now we're going to start talking about things that you like. Like I like sports, or I like ice cream. All right, so over here under the what, we're going to put singular. Let's do this. We're going to say if you like one thing, or if you like to do an activity. So those are both gusta. Those go with gusta. Okay, remember, I'm going to draw a little squiggly line here just to remind you that this and these are not connected when you're choosing them. So you choose these based on who it is, and you pick gusta and gustan based on what it is. Okay, remember, don't go say, oh, they like it, so I'm going to pick gustan. Remember, those two, they're not related. So you pick les, and then you got to look at what it is to decide if it's gusta or gustan. Okay? And then we use gustan for more than one thing. Okay, that's when we say gustan. So if you like sports, me gustan los deportes. If you like ice cream, me gusta el helado. Okay? So gusta you use for one thing or an activity. I'm gonna give you an example of that in just a minute. And gustan for more than one thing. Okay, so let's say that we like, we're trying to say I like sports, okay? Let's say they like sports. So you say gustan los deportes. Okay? If we change this a little bit though, because that's more than one thing. Sports is plural. So they like sports. So they for les, gusta, we choose gustan because deportes is plural. What if we say instead of they like sports, we say they like to play sports? Okay? So we're going to change this to jugar. You could use practicar as well. Our book uses practicar. Los deportes. Okay, now we switched from deportes, which was plural, to an activity. Now my activity is jugar, so I'm going to use gusta, not gustan. Okay? Same thing if you were to say like, oh, I like burritos. Me gustan los burritos. You'd use gustan because burritos is plural. But if you change it, you said, I like to eat burritos. Now we've switched it to an activity, so you say, me gusta comer burritos. Okay? So one thing or an activity, it's gusta. If it's more than one thing, if whatever you like is plural, then use gustan. Okay? All right, I think that's about it. That's our verb gustar.